So Nick Wright accidentally proves why Josh Allen is actually better than Patrick Mahomes, especially in the playoffs, and then immediately contradicts himself. Take a listen. It's amazing. And then we're going to unpack this whole thing. And I have all the numbers, all the stats.
Can I show you a counter graphic to see how you square it?
Yeah.
And I'll let you keep going. So here's passing yards, he's second. Total yards, he's first. Total touchdowns, he's third. Touchdown to turnover, he's fifth. So he has not been wildly efficient. Well, you know what I mean? Which is the completion percentage and the passer rating. Also, he doesn't get credit in his passer rating for the rushing touchdowns, which is, helping here. But obviously, they are, whether they're not tush-push touchdowns. I know those count the same, but they are,
No, but his have been.
They felt like they've had some heft to them.
Yeah.
So, I think it is outrageous how many people right now say Josh Allen's better than Patrick. I think in this moment right here today, it's an outrageous opinion because it's the same people that were saying it last year. And then again, and I know some people hate this, they played each other. And once again, Patrick outplayed him in the biggest spot. But if the Chiefs miss the playoffs, that to me is fair. And one of the reasons I think Mahomes' stats are maybe more impressive than you, because you mentioned Daniel Jones in the yards where he's with him. Yeah. The Chiefs' offense, for good or for bad, is Patrick. He is their best rusher. You know what I mean? Daniel Jones, to your point, has the opposite of that in Jonathan Taylor. And I do think he's had back-to-back bad games.
So think about what Nick Wright is saying here right now. First off, he elevates the stats of total yards per game and total touchdowns and things of that nature. Then says, he doesn't get credit for the rushing touchdowns and all that type of stuff. Then goes on to say that anyone who says that Josh Allen is better, that's ridiculous. Because when they play head-to-head, Patrick Mahomes outplays him. Which is going to be interesting. And then says that what Patrick Mahomes is doing is more impressive because he is the Kansas City Chiefs offense, for better or worse. So he essentially has to do more. Those are the three main points that Nick Wright is using. Well, lucky for you all, I did the math. I crunched the numbers. I made the graphics. So in their careers, Josh Allen has played 13 playoff games. Patrick Mahomes 21. Josh Allen has more total yards per game. 310 to 305.8. We're going to start slow, and then we're going to build up. Total touchdowns per game, 2.5. 2.5. Except the interception rate is higher for Patrick Mahomes because Josh Allen has the greatest touchdown to interception ratio in the playoffs of all time. He's got 0.9. Patrick Mahomes, 1.3. Pass attempts per game, 35. Except Josh Allen, when factoring in his total yards per game and his production, he actually makes up a greater percentage of his team's offense. 82%. This is just the playoffs. 82% of his team's total offense. 79% for Patrick Mahomes. Now wait, it's going to get crazier. Remember 82% and 79%. Those numbers will come in a little bit later. They both get around 15 pressures per game, so no one can say anything about the O-line, or anything like that. Rushing yards per game. Josh Allen, 51.4. Nearly double that of Patrick Mahomes at 28.9. Yards per carry, 6 for Josh Allen. 5.4 for Patrick Mahomes. Rushing attempts per game, 8.6 to 5.3. So Josh Allen actually has to make up more of the running attack while doing the equal in the passing game, and makes up even more of the total yards. Total rushing touchdowns. He has 7 in 13 games, whereas Patrick Mahomes has 7 in 21. He's averaging 0.54 rushing touchdowns per game, where Patrick Mahomes is only averaging 0.33. He talked about the total touchdowns and how important they are. And don't tell me that Josh Allen is benefiting from a tush push. Well, let's be serious here. Josh Allen is the tush push. Let's just, be clear about this. And as he said, it's more impressive. It's more impressive what Patrick Mahomes is doing, because for better or worse, he makes up more of the offense. He is the team. He's their best rusher. He's their best this. In the playoffs, Josh Allen, 7 out of 13 playoff games, he was the leading rusher. 54% of the time. Patrick Mahomes, 5 out of 21, only 24%. One of those times was this past Super Bowl when he rushed for 25 yards. Let's be serious here. He was not carrying that team with his rushing yards. In one of the other games that he was the leading rusher, okay, he had like 68, 69 yards, and he had a couple other running backs that netted over 115 yards, okay? So yeah, he contributed to that rushing attack, but the other players still had 115. Whereas when Josh Allen was the leading rusher, his team gave him 32 yards, 41 yards. Like, not quite the same here. Not quite the same, okay? One time it was like 29, like just ridiculous. And then in those games where Josh Allen was the leading rusher, only one touchdown was scored by another player on that team rushing, another running back, out of those 7 games. Whereas for Mahomes, there were 4 touchdowns. So even when he was the leading rusher, he was still getting more touchdowns from other running backs, from other, from the run game. So, yeah. Who do you think's making up more of that offense? For the supporting cast rushing, 8 touchdowns in those 13 games, whereas Mahomes has benefited from 17 rushing touchdowns out of 21. Nearly a touchdown per game from the rushing attack. So 0.8 for Mahomes, 0.6 for Josh Allen. So again, please tell me, who's doing more work? Who is making up more of this offense? Remember, Nick talked about, let's use total yards. Let's use these other numbers. Like, that is where it really shows you why Patrick Mahomes is playing great. And then you want to say, anyone who says that Josh Allen is better than Patrick Mahomes, it's ridiculous, because they played each other and Patrick Mahomes has outplayed him. Did he? Uh-oh. What are these stats now? Head-to-head in these 4 games, Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes. First off, we already know, as Nick Wright himself has admitted, that Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen in the regular season, Josh Allen has consistently outplayed him. It's like not even close, but in the playoffs, that's when it changes. Josh Allen, 326.5 total yards per game. This is strictly against Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. 306.25 total yards for Patrick Mahomes. So he has more total yards. Pass attempts per game. We know first things first is all about the total number of pass attempts. 40 to 32. The percent of the total team's offense, when we put together the passing yards, the rushing yards, Josh Allen, 85.5%. Patrick Mahomes, 71%. Remember how I told you to remember those numbers from before? 82%, 79% during the other playoff games. So when the Buffalo Bills play the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs, they rely on Josh Allen even more than they do in regular playoff games. Whereas when the Kansas City Chiefs play the Buffalo Bills, they actually ask less from Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes' percent of total offense goes down. He goes down from 79% to 71%. Whereas Josh Allen's actually goes up. He makes up more of the offense. And just in general, 85.5% to 71% is ridiculous. And who gets pressured more times in those 4 games? Josh Allen, 63 pressures to 50. Who has more total rushing yards? Josh Allen, 267 to 131. Rushing yards per game, 66.75 to 34. Rushing attempts per game, 10.25 to 7.25. Yards per carry, Josh Allen again, 6.5 to 4.6. Games as the leading rusher, 3 out of 4, 75% of the time that they play each other, Josh Allen is the leading rusher for his team. Patrick Mahomes, once. And it was that game where he rushed for 68, 69 yards, and yet the rest of the running backs still rushed for 115 yards. Not quite the same. In the one game where Josh Allen was the leading rusher, he got 32 yards from his other teammate from the other run game, 41 yards from the other running backs. Like it's just not even the same. It's just not even the same. It's really not. And then the team rushing support, 300 to 444. Team rushing yards per game, Josh Allen gets a whopping 75. Patrick Mahomes gets 111. And then the special teams yards, field positions, kickoff returns, punt returns, 75 yards. Compared to 340. So tell me, who is doing more with less? Who is outplaying who? You tell me. I'd love to know. The guy that has to be the leading rusher? The guy who has to have greater pass attempts? A greater percentage of his team's offense? He's got more total yards, more rushing yards, more pass attempts, more yards per carry. 3 out of 4 times is the leading rusher for his team. And Nick Wright himself literally says this.
I think it is outrageous how many people right now say Josh Allen's better than Patrick. I think in this moment right here today, it's an outrageous opinion because it's the same people that were saying it last year. And then again, and I know some people hate this, they played each other. And once again, Patrick outplayed him in the biggest spot.
How? How is Patrick Mahomes outplaying Josh Allen? The Kansas City Chiefs are winning for sure. Well, as we noted, they're asking less of Patrick Mahomes than they're asking Josh Allen. And in Nick Wright's exact words, he said this.
That to me is fair. And one of the reasons I think Mahomes' stats are maybe more impressive than you, because you mentioned Daniel Jones in the yards where he's with him. Yeah. The Chiefs' offense, for good or for bad, is Patrick.
Not against the Buffalo Bills, for sure not. I've already proven that to you. And it's definitely the case for Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. So shouldn't that be more impressive? Nick's using this exact logic to tell you why he's so impressed with Patrick Mahomes. If we're using that exact logic, Josh Allen is outplaying Patrick Mahomes. Not only head to head, but then also when we're just comparing playoff stats. Stats that Nick Wright clearly says are important when he brings up counter graphics to be like, Brew, let me show you this. Like, I think this is actually a better representation. Let's not use completion percentage. Let's not use passer rating. Let's not use any of those other things. And it's like, okay, fine, let's not. I mean, do you know that Josh Allen is number 1 in the NFL, in NFL history, for total yards per game in the playoff history, with the best touchdown to interception ratio in playoff history? So he has the best touchdown to interception ratio in playoff history. He's number 1 in total yards per game in playoff history. And I forget exactly what his top 10 or top 5. He's up there in rushing yards per game in playoff history as well. Certainly higher than whatever Patrick Mahomes is, that I do know. And when they play head-to-head, Josh Allen has more total yards per game. More rushing yards per game. More pass attempts per game. Clearly less run support per game. Clearly more pressures that he faces per game. As everyone's all about the O-line these days. So by Nick Wright's own logic, Josh Allen is better and more impressive. He literally said that. He literally said that. This is why Patrick Mahomes' stats are actually more impressive. Then it's pretty remarkable that what Josh Allen is doing against the Kansas City Chiefs, against what Nick Wright says is the best team in like NFL history, the dynasty, the legendary Spags, the legendary Andy Reid, the legendary Mahomes, Chris Jones, Travis Kelce. And yet, Josh Allen is putting up better numbers and taking on a greater burden of the offense than Patrick Mahomes is doing against an inferior team. So then who's actually better? Who's actually playing better? Who's actually more impressive? And yet we want to say that it's ridiculous that Josh Allen is better than Patrick Mahomes? When the very numbers, the very stats, the very logic that Nick Wright is using to prove why Patrick Mahomes is actually better and actually more impressive? Oh, bro, that's not the way it works. This is the power of logic. This is the power of debate. This is the power of numbers. This is the power of reality. But we'll close here because I do think Nick Wright finally does get it right when he's talking about quarterback play. He accidentally is talking about Mahomes here, but he actually means Josh Allen.
Like, I would disagree with it. I think he's the most talented player in the history of the league. But
Yeah, that's Josh Allen. The most talented player in the history of the league. Both in the regular season and playoffs. And head-to-head against Patrick Mahomes. Checkmate. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Josh Allen? According to Nick's logic, Kansas City Chiefs fans, don't get mad at me. Patrick Mahomes fans, don't get mad at me. This is the guy. This is Nick Wright. He is the king of the Chiefs, the king of Patrick Mahomes takes. I'm just using his own logic. Don't blame me. You got to be consistent. If we're going to apply logic one way, you got to apply it in all directions. I always say, I don't make the rules. I just play by them. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.